What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, where for today's rebuild, we are going to be taking a look at the Carolina Panthers. Now that they have fixed mobile quarterbacks mostly in the sim, it is safe to do some of these teams that has some scrambling quarterbacks. So I already have committed that, once all is said and done, we'll go back to do the Arizona Cardinals. That was the first rebuild we did with Kyler Murray. But because mobile quarterbacks were broken at that point, wasn't a fair marker of a good rebuild, at least one that's centered around a scrambling quarterback. But we are here with the Carolina Panthers, who have one hell of a scrambling quarterback, and they may have a little bit of quarterback dilemma. I am coming fresh off of watching Thursday Night Football, where Cam Newton looked horrendous. He looked absolutely horrendous. So he doesn't play well, X Factor ability or not. I mean, we got a pretty talented quarterback here in Will Grier out of West Virginia. Had some first round buzz last season. Throughout that campaign, had some Heisman buzz, got that nice beautiful face scan there. So I mean, we're gonna do we have to get a new quarterback? I don't know. That's gonna be the exciting thing here. It's not only can Cam scramble, will he play well in the sim? Because historically speaking, the last couple of Maddens, Cam Newton, along with you probably could throw up Derek Carr, Matt Stafford, Andrew Luck. That's been the pool of quarterbacks that no matter what happens, they are not good in the Madden sim. So it's going to be interesting to see, man, and I'm not going to lie. I'm getting some Andrew Luck vibes from Cam Newton, a guy that he's made his money. He's not looking, the best right now. I don't know if, obviously he's struggling to stay healthy. I would not be shocked to see Cam Newton retire sooner than later. But for this rebuild, I mean, we're going to try to hold on and develop Will Grier as best we can, just in case if that has to be an emergency option. I think Will Grier has that potential to develop into a starter in the National Football League. But right now, Cam Newton is the guy. We have, in my opinion, I think the best running back in the National Football League, considering what he can do. In terms of like pure talent, freak ability, you're probably looking at, the Saquons. But I think in terms of everything, I think McCaffrey is the best of both worlds. It's really a group of three now, because that modern running back of McCaffrey, Kamara, and Saquon. It's really almost 1A, B, and C, depending what you're looking at for a running back. I just think for what he can bring as a receiver, he is, and he's good at pass protection. As a fantasy football owner of Christian McCaffrey, watching Thursday Night Football, where they pretty much had him pass protect for like half the game, even more than half the game. He looked pretty damn good for a guy that's just 200 pounds. So, I mean, as a former minority running back, I guess that's what we could call it, I am attracted to McCaffrey, even though it's not really about race. I'm, like I said, my favorite player of all time is, it's not, doesn't share my same race. I feel like that's actually a thing too, man. I feel weird that like there's certain people are like, oh, McCaffrey's the best because he's one of the good old boys. Like, just enjoy people for what they are. But someone myself that played the running back position and got, I'm never gonna say got discriminated against, but it was when I told people I played running back, there was snickers occasionally. It's nice to see someone that looks like me that plays the running back. Like, I understand, if we're doing the inverse, when you see like a Michael Vick or when Don McNabb was coming up, or now you got the inverse like of Cam Newton. It's different strokes for different folks when it comes to stuff like this. Either way, I think McCaffrey, he's probably my favorite player in the National Football League, and he's awesome, man. Absolute awesome running back, and I totally think, along with like Kamara and Saquon Barkley, they're in that mold of that new era, new edge, modern prototype running back, where you gotta be able to expect them to catch at least 50 catches a year and do something with it. So McCaffrey's awesome. He's 23. He's gonna be the center, the face of this rebuild. We have a wide receiver, DJ Moore, great weapon. Curtis Samuel, great weapon. Beyond that, not much. You got Brandon Zylstra, awesome, from the CFL. Hogan, yeah, veteran. But I think this is going to be a very good rebuild of keeping our own talent and developing them. I could definitely see Samuel, DJ Moore getting up into the 90s, somewhere in that territory. They're going to be beasts. We have Greg Olson, G-Reg, with that third leg. He's awesome, but he's very old at this point. But they have a nice tight end here in Ian Thomas out of Indiana. Vertical threat, fits the scheme. He's 23. What's his dev trait here? He only has a normal dev, but I think he definitely can be groomed to be the successor for Greg Olson. What are the dev traits here for DJ Moore? Star for DJ. I think Curtis Samuel's normal. Both with star. Work with that. And what's McCaffrey is superstar X Factor, right? Yeah. What does Greer have? Normal? Okay. Offensive line. They've spent some decent money on the offense. They brought in Greg Little. They drafted him at Ole Miss. I don't really know how much we have there, but Darrell Williams for the time being, 80 star dev tackle. That's pretty good. Ugh. Actually, I'm right at the rip. I'm going to take Greg Little. Let's, again, much like Will Grier, kind of had some first-round buzz. This was a great draft for the Panthers, I think. We'll actually make Greg Little our left guard for now. They got Matt Paradis, who they paid decent money to come over from the Broncos. He's solid. Trey Turner's solid. Taylor Moton's solid. Other than that, I mean, I know, oh my God, they're good and mad, but my God, this offensive line on paper should be at worst above average. They were horrendous against the Buccaneers Thursday Night Football. Anyways, defensive side, they've switched schemes. They are now rocking in a 3-4 versus a 4-3. We have Gerald McCoy, veteran, K1 Short at defensive end. Absolutely have to think about getting the replacements. They are very old, as well as inside with Don Terry Poe. The average age of our freaking D-line is like 30. Not great for a 5-year rebuild. Outside linebacker, you got Bruce Irvin. Again, not great for a 5-year rebuild. He's 31. Inside, you have Luke Kuechly, who I think is the best linebacker in the National Football League. It is like a 1A, 1B between him and Bobby Wagner. But if you had to tell me which one to pick, give me Luke Kuechly every damn day. They got Shaq Thompson, very, very versatile middle linebacker. Remember, he's a two-way player at Washington. He played running back at Washington as well as linebacker. I was a big fan of him because of that. Two-way player's awesome, so we can utilize him. Jermaine Cutter Jr., shout out to Pink Slips. He was a beast for us in Pink Slips last season, so maybe we can hold on to him as long as we can. We're outside linebacker. We have Mary Addison. That's an ugly contract. Brian Burns is a freak of nature. He tore up the preseason for the Carolina Panthers. This was an unbelievable draft selection, and I think maybe even more so than Luke Kuechly. He is going to be the face of this rebuild on the defensive side of the ball. Luke Kuechly being 28, he's going to be nearing the end of his prime. I mean, he's still going to be the guy on the defense, but I think the guy we're going to build around is going to be Brian Burns. He is a monster in this game and was an awesome pick there for the Carolina Panthers. In the secondary, you got Dante Jackson, Bradbury. Dante Jackson for sure, but even Bradbury, that should be our tandem for pretty much the majority of the rebuild in the secondary. Need to add a third corner there, but Jackson and Bradbury are great. A lot of speed. They have Trey Boston here at safety. He's solid now. Eric Reed, these guys here are just good band-aids until we can draft our long-term players there to fill up the secondary. Graham Gano, I don't know why they have two kickers. This guy here, Sly, made like 4 kicks, 4 or 5 field goals on Thursday Night Football. Pallardy, one of the better punters in the game, but this team is sick. Very excited to use it. Like I said, man, a huge fan of Kuechly, huge fan of McCaffrey, huge fan of Greg Olson. Who doesn't like Gerald McCoy? DJ Moore, huge fan of DJ Moore. I think he was my wide receiver 1 2 years ago. I can't wait to use DJ Moore. He's one of those guys, too, if we really wanted to. Probably could make him a running back and just have 2 freaky running backs between him and Christian McCaffrey. But I'm ready to get into this rebuild. I think we're going to be able to build a Super Bowl contender, but everything is going to go around. Is Cam Newton going to be good? Are we going to move on from Cam Newton? What are we doing with this quarterback situation? But at least for year 1, it's going to be the Cam Newton show. Let's see what he does in the Madden 20 sim. I want to make a big splash, and if you paid any attention to Twitter this weekend, Minka Fitzpatrick is on the trade block. This is a defense that needs to get better and younger. Fitzpatrick can play anywhere in the secondary. Right now, he's going to be our play corner for us. So we're able to flip Mario Addison, a 2nd-round pick, which is reportedly the asking price for Fitzpatrick right now. Like they said, they want it first, but second could probably swing it. To make it happen in the Madden world, though, we had to flip Mario Addison, Bruce Irvin, so our 2 starting outside linebackers, even though Brian Burns technically will be one of those starters. A 2nd-round pick to the Dolphins for Fitzpatrick and a 6th-rounder. So coming out of the bye here in year 1, we're 6-0. The Panthers real life now are 0-2 with the same roster. Like, this is a team that should be much better than what they are. I think in real life, Ron Rivera, coming into the season, I had 4 bold predictions that were negative. I thought Ron Rivera would be the surprise head coach fire, and I thought the 3 teams that would underperform would be the Rams, Bears, and the Browns. So far, all that stuff looks kind of good right now, but hopefully in this day we can. I like Riverboat Ron. I think he's, even though it's a dying breed, having a defensive-minded head coach, I think he's still a solid coach. But either way, we're sitting out here at 6-0, and we need to look at some contracts. Who do we want to retain? Boy, oh boy. So our depth, don't really care about our depth right now. Those guys there can, for the most part, go on and pounce. And Shaq Thompson, though, very versatile linebacker. So we definitely want to have him locked up. Darrell Williams, only 2 years. I definitely can get down with a 2-year deal for a guy that's 27. We'll come back to the table with him. Trey Boston is also solid. 3 years. I don't know about that. James Bradbury is a good corner. Inconsistent, but still fairly good. McCoy, who's only brought in as like a mercenary, like a 1-year type deal. Trey Boston, 27, 28, 29, 30. If he takes this, we'll be happy. Oh my God, all these guys want more money. Shout out to Shaq Thompson for being a real one. And at the end of year 1, even though Ron's in the dark here, we made the playoffs through the wild card, 11-5, taking on the Bears. That is a big time matchup, especially for Ron. But the Saints won the division, 13-3 was their record. I did take a peek. Cam Newton was very good, 3,500 yards, 39 touchdowns to 9 picks. Also chipped in almost 400 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. That's not bad. We got Jordan Scarlett there. McCaffrey, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. On the receiving standpoint, Curtis Samuel, 70 catches, 850 and 9. We got 807 for DJ Moore, 705 for Olson, 588 and 8 from Chris Hogan. Weird. McCaffrey didn't really play like McCaffrey either. So those are some weird numbers. But Cam Newton was good. I'll take that. Defensively, Eric Reed led the team with 101 tackles. Weird. 9 sacks, K1 short, 4 for Eric Reed. Burns did not a whole lot. Trey Boston led the team in weird. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick played well. 84 tackles, 2 picks. I'll take that. Yearly awards, MVP went to Tom Brady, with Cam Newton coming in at number 6. Coach of the Year, Freddie Kitchens. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Drew Brees. Cam Newton at 5. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. No one. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Kyler Murray. Scarlett at 7. Bonifant at 8. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Byron Murphy. Brian Burns coming in number 4. Man, I hate the 3-4, man. 3-4 scheme does nothing in the sim. I don't think we had any award winners. We did not. So team success over individual success. Let's see if we can go on a deep playoff run here on the road at Soldier Field. Very tough matchup against the Bears. All right, Cam, you got 40 touchdowns or over 40 touchdowns in the sim. If you could keep that up, that'd be great. So we get 9-7, 16-7, weird scoring. We got a safety to start things off. Kind of weird, but you know, we're looking pretty good. We're going up and down the field here against a very good defense, the best defense in Madden, depending on who you may ask. And we're getting touchdowns and not field goals. This is probably a team that's used to just relying on holding teams to field goals. And the Panthers are not going to be denied. We're at least going to make it to the division round. We dropped 40 on a very good Chicago Bears defense. McCaffrey over 100 yards. Cam Newton, 77% completion percentage. I guess now, though, everyone respects the Bears D. You got to just make Mitchell Trubisky try and beat you. That is, you know, we got a respectable D here as well in Carolina. And we held Trubisky in check. We're moving on to the next round. We get to find out right away. I'd like to see who the best team is in the NFC South. Panthers, Saints. It's a big-time rival. We got a nice little touchdown to open things up. Our defense holds the Saints to a field goal attempt. I like to see that. The Saints defense not showed up to play here. That is awesome. I'm impressed with how well we've started this game out. And, of course, we're going to dominate the first half. Oh, come on. When you see the back and forth, that's not great. There you go. Cam Newton's probably just throwing ducks right now, right into the ground. We're down 3. Get the ball back. It's over. It's over. Let's be honest. We knew Cam Newton was probably chucking ducks. Oh, he actually played very well. It wasn't Cam Newton. It was the run game. The old riverboat run. No more so maybe Norv Turner just failed to get McCaffrey involved. Cam Newton did not play bad at all. Played better than Drew Brees. Couldn't get the job done as they fall 24-21 to the Saints here. But it's only year 1. We got 4 more years to go. And it looks like a lot more years of Cam Newton. Agency, we're going to spend a little bit. We got Noah Spence here. We're going to go on the Chiefs side. I don't know if we can bring him in, but if we did, we'd flip him to be our left outside linebacker where he can contend. But Jaren Reed would be the big get, 6'3", 306. Maybe not so much as the nose tackle. I'd make him a defensive end to take over for Gerald McCoy. Very productive, underrated season 2 years ago with the Seattle Seahawks. So it'll be a big get and fairly reasonable contract for a guy of his production. We got both Jaren Reed and Noah Spence in free agency. Looking at the draft, continue to build up, add some depth. First round, we got LeBrian Ray, defensive end from Alabama. Not a terrible pick, not a home run pick. 69 overall scheme fit. More so to be groomed behind K1 Short, but you know he is a 3-4 defensive end. Third round, because we didn't have a second round pick. Count our second round pick is pretty much Minka Fitzpatrick. In the third round, we got Tylan Wallace, very talented wide receiver from Oklahoma State, 72 with a hidden dev trait. If you made this guy look like our first round pick, we'd be laughing. But you pair Tylan Wallace with what we already have in Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. Scary, man. Our wide receiver core is set for the rebuild. Beyond that, we just got some depth. We got Lavert Hill, corner, in the fourth round. Jordan Scott, nose tackle out of Oregon, in the fifth. Jalen Johnson, corner from Utah, in the sixth. And then filled up depth, Kendall Coleman from Syracuse, and Robert Hainsey, guard from Notre Dame. But top-heavy draft for sure. LeBron Ray and Tylan Wallace. I both expect these guys to make some impacts throughout this rebuild. Year 2 kicks off, not a whole lot of changes to the offense. We got Tylan Wallace, who's going to contribute as a rookie. Offensive line remains the same. Greg Little is developing nicely, and we're not seeing really any regression. Greg Olson didn't even regress that bad, so I was actually expecting him almost to retire, but Thomas is still developing good behind him. Defensively, we have brought in Jaren Reed from the Seattle Seahawks. He is going to be our starting defensive line end. We got Poe and Short there. Fitzpatrick is developing very nicely. We have a great, pretty much young, you can call him young secondary between Bradbury, Fitzpatrick, and Dante Jackson. Noah Spence is going to be our starting outside linebacker. Brian Burns looks like a freak of nature. Middle linebackers look good. This is a really, really strong team from top to back. I firmly expect us to make another playoff run. A fairly early bye, week 6 bye for the Panthers this season. 3-2, second place in the South behind the Saints, so we're still right in the mix. Contracts, first up, we have Christian McCaffrey. We're going to pay him pretty much whatever he wants. 5-year deal, lock him down for the rest of the rebuild. All right, we're going to prioritize our young guys first because, I mean, Cam Newton clearly is going to be very expensive, but let's lock down these guys, the skill position players. That's really it. You know, get Curtis Samuel back to a deal. Greg Olson. We'll see. Okay, Cam wants 3 years. Cam has been playing very, very well. He's an X Factor. I don't see any reason to get rid of Cam Newton right now, so we'll see if he takes that money, which he does. We have Greg Olson. I don't want to get rid of G-Reg. I feel like he's going to retire a year in. So we'll come back and, you know, try to keep the gang together here between Samuel and Greg Olson. But two big-time players on the offense locked up for the remainder of the rebuild, you would assume, between McCaffrey and Cam. And probably the most brutal way to end the season. The South was a dogfight. We were third, 10-6. The Falcons and Saints both finished ahead of us. And look at how the schedule finished for the Panthers. We finished with our final 2 games being against the Falcons and the Saints. We lost 3 in a row. That is the most Carolina Panther thing ever. Go on like a 2, 4, 6, 7 game win streak. Then lose the 3 critical games at the end of the season. Looking at the stats here, Cam Newton still, those are good numbers for Cam Newton. 3,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 picks. He also threw in 5 rushing touchdowns. Scarlett was good. McCaffrey was awesome, averaging almost 100 yards a game. DJ Moore, 77 catches, 970 and 10, 790 and 7 for G-Reg. 706 Samuel. Tyler Wallace, good start, trying to integrate himself more and more into the offense as the year went on. Kuechly, back where he belongs, 123 tackles, 8 TFLs. We get 8 sacks for K1 Short, 5 from again, man, sacks for whatever reason in the sim. We know these players are good, they're going to develop, but sacks in a 3-4 are never good. I don't know why. Lots of turnovers, though. Good defense. MVP went to Marcus Mariota. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Matt Ryan. Cam Newton at number 10. Defensive Player of the Year went to Roquan Smith. The Offensive Rookie went to Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, my God. We have to deal with that this rebuild? Whatever quarterback goes to the Saints is good. Now it just happens to be Tua. How did the rest of the league let that happen, you know? Tylan Wallace coming to number 6. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Michael Divinity Jr., the linebacker out of LSU. Jordan Scott at number 9, Matt Ryan. I don't think we have any of these award winners, which we did not. So it's a burn year here in year 2, and we've pretty much got the terrible news that Tua is on the Saints. Didn't sign anyone in free agency, pretty tight budget. So looking at the draft, I don't like reusing the same players, but this here makes the most sense. Phidarian Mathis, who we've used a couple times on the channel, he's the only scheme fit for a 3-4. We desperately needed a new nose tackle with Don Terry Poe hitting the free agency market. Probably going to start as a rookie. He's uber talented, so we had to do it. Double-double to Alabama D lineman. Last year, we got LeBron Ray. This year, for Darian Mathis. Second round, we got Devin Hunter, strong safety for Virginia Tech. Abraham Lucas, 65 star hidden dev. We don't know what it expects to be. Probably a star dev. Tackle from Washington State. We got Trey Hill, center from Georgia. Aiden Hutchinson, Michigan. Smoke Monday, best name ever. Free safety from Auburn. And then Andre Smith, maybe the best kicker in college, to come in and see maybe if we could slowly try to get Graham Gano's huge contract. He must be like the most expensive kicker off our books. Season 3 for the Carolina Panthers changes. We got DJ Moore, 92 overall, one of the best young wide receivers in the National Football League. Other than that, we just see regression for Greg Olson on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, we got Fedarian Mathis will be our starting nose tackle. That's it. Again, you know, we're staying consistent through the first 3 years. No major changes. We've been double-digit wins both seasons. We just can't collapse like last year, and we'll make it back into the playoffs. I guarantee it. Week 10 of year 3, we're sitting 5-3 tied for first in the NFC South with the Saints. This is a huge Week 10 matchup. Actually, let's sim it right off the bat, and then we'll get into the contract because that's such a big game. And we beat them 42-28. Thank you. And we take sole possession of the division. What do we have for upgrades? Anything crazy? We'll just give Cam Newton a quick upgrade here. We actually can make him a scheme fit. Don't know why. Doesn't really matter. No. Probably should be focusing on getting him up to the 90s, which will unlock the final ability in his tree, which I have no idea. Oh, it's Bulldozer. I mean, cool. But contracts. See Luke Kuechly's beautiful face there. You're a monster. Why don't you still here? Thank you. DJ Moore, monster. Why don't you still here? Thank you. Minka Fitzpatrick, we didn't trade for you to bail on us. Thank you. Trey Turner, great offensive line. Again, we haven't been signing a whole lot of guys. That's pretty much why we skipped last free agency period, because we knew that there was going to be a lot of money thrown around here for our squad. Now, we got some interesting contracts coming up. Let's see. Reed can go. Gano can go. We need Ian Thomas because he is the successor to Greg Olson. Pilot, who cares about him? We do not have anyone that can take over for Darrell Williams, but a 3-year deal. That is not a great return of investment. Same with Paradis. Paradis only wants a 1-year deal, though, so we'll bring him back. That's not too bad. We don't have to worry about regression. K1 Short wants a 2-year deal. 35. He's going to be so old. We'll stay with this for now. We'll see how K1 Short, if he ends up getting like 10 sacks, which sometimes you see guys in contract years do, we'll come back to the table for him. But other than that, great piece of business, ignoring last year's free agency period, so we had money to retain all of our starts this season. We can do this because we usually try to hold off and wait, but Luke Kuechly got himself a 99 not too long ago, so we got himself his gold cleats. Congratulations. We have another set of 99 cleats that we have to hand out, and that is to Christian McCaffrey, who now reaches that 99 echelon. He is a monster, and we're gonna give him. We gave Luke Kuechly kind of the these ones, not overly obnoxious. Oh, we're gonna give McCaffrey the obnoxious golden boys here, the Jordans. With a Week 17 victory over the Dolphins, nice little revenge game for Minka Fitzpatrick. We got the NFC South, our first title in year 3, but we got the bye. I'll take an 11-win bye because that's not always automatic. Cam Newton, real great, 3,200 yards, 39 touchdowns, 9 picks. Also chipped in 369 for. We might have an MVP. Cam Newton has regained MVP form, at least right now, with the Panthers. McCaffrey, almost 1,600 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. From a receiving standpoint, Thomas, 7 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. Tylan Wallace, double-digit tutties for both Samuel and DJ Moore. And G-Reg leading the team. It's just, who do you cover? You straight up got like 5, 6 guys there that can beat you on any given week. 100 tackles for Shaq Thompson. We got, let's see, the sacks are garbage in this scheme. Absolute garbage. Minka Fitzpatrick, 5 picks. The picks look great. Yearly awards, MVP. Wait a minute. Cam Newton was second in passing touchdowns, and he comes in at number 10? Oh, the yards. That's probably why. Last in passing yards. But what the... JT Daniels for... Oh, my God. That's a rookie number for Dallas. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Coach of the year goes to Weird Robot Eye Face. Offensive player of the year went to Zeke. Cam coming in at 4. Defensive player of the year went to Eric Kendricks. Kuechly at 10. Do we have any award winners? Minka. Shout out to Minka Fitzpatrick. Best defensive back in the league. That'd be pretty dope. He does get a dev trait boost. We won't find that out until, hopefully, the game before our Super Bowl appearance. But in the opening round, we're taking on JT Daniels, the 42 touchdown rookie at a USC. It's Dallas. Gotta beat Dallas. Gotta beat Dallas. I'm gonna make a promise to you, Kimmy, Jimmy, Timmy, and Timmy, that when we have to play Dallas, god damn it, when we play Dallas at any point in our rebuilds, I'm gonna hop in. I'm gonna try to smoke them. Can't lose to the Cowboys. They're gonna make Dallas the overpowered team from their base ratings, unfair ratings. I'm not gonna let that affect my rebuilds. Let's go. Oh, how's that not a touchdown? How's that not a touchdown? Bring it in. 3rd and goal on the 9. Let's go, man. Fuck! All right, because Dallas got the instant touchdown, because of course they would. We're able to equalize. Greg Olson, the nice little touchdown to try and maintain pace with the automatic TD offense known as Dallas. How is that a drop? That's that right there, the worst drop I've seen in Madden 20. No, I'm done. Can't run the ball on Dallas for whatever reason. Christian McCaffrey gets tackled for loss. Gotta have to go ahead and maybe try again another time. Not ruining my day going against Dallas, who conveniently had like 9 superstars. Oh, Anthony Brown. Yeah, Anthony Brown's a superstar playmaker. Dude's bang on average. Get me out of this shit. Year 4. Spending big in free agency, Harold Landry, formerly of the Tennessee Titans. I want him to come off the edge with Brian Burns so we can get someone that might be able to get more than 5 sacks a season. So we missed out on Harold Landry in free agency. That was pretty much all or nothing on him, so that sucked. But in the draft, I picked 27. Name might sound familiar. Antoine Winfield, formerly of the Vikings. His kid is a baller for Minnesota Golden Gophers. Very versatile. We brought him in 72 with a hidden dev trait. He is most likely going to start at either safety position for us. A little bit of a whiff here in Funa, the linebacker for Oregon. Thought for sure it'd be better. We got Kolar here, tight end from Iowa State, 68 hidden dev trait as well. Greg Olson retired, so it's Ian Thomas, but now we have solid depth behind him. We got Lewis Headley, the jacked rib tatted punter from the U, 69 hidden dev trait. He'll be our starter. Then beyond that, just filling out some depth as we get ready for year 4. Still an offensive dominated team here in year 4, 95 rated offense across the board. Like no real changes, to be completely honest with you. Like our offensive line's developing with no more Daryl Williams. Taylor Moton's gonna slide to left tackle. Lucas, the pick that we got out of Washington State, 79 star dev here as he enters his sophomore season. Greg Olson has retired, so Ian Thomas needs to step up and be our tight end 1. We're seeing, obviously elite development here out of DJ Moore. McCaffrey's a 99. Curtis Samuel should break into the 90s at some point this season. Tylan Wallace, 84. Defensively, Fedarian Mathis, superstar playmaker. I think he's a star. He did have a scenario last season that we did achieve. I think we had held a team under 75 rushing yards, which is awesome. LeBron Ray will get a start. We got Minka Fitzpatrick into the 90s. Dante Jackson should hit the 90s. Chugo Amadi, we picked off the street, will be our starting strong safety. And we're actually going to make Antoine Winfield Jr. our starting free safety. Yeah, man, let's go. Man, Harold Landry would have looked good. Would have made our linebacking core complete. But hey, Noah Spence, let's see what we can do, man. Year 4, always a weird year. It seems like that is going to carry over into Madden 20. We are 3-5, third place in the NFC South. Looks like the division is just starting to pull away from us. I assume Cam Newton is not playing well, if I had to guess. Middle of the pack, yards are down, even though we're a run-first team. We made our bed, now we're going to lay in it. We stuck with Cam Newton. We didn't move on from him when we had an opportunity because he looked like he was going to be MVP Cam, and he has been absolutely what we're seeing in real life with Cam Newton. Throwing ducks, playing duck hunter. Contracts, Brian Burns, even though for whatever reason, again, the 3-4, I've never had a good 3-4 edge rusher. We can't let him walk. Paradis at center wants a 1-year deal. We still don't have a replacement for him. He's not regressing too bad, so we'll make sure we hammer that out. Jaren Reed, and we're going to a year 5 Super Bowl or bust. So pretty much anyone that is worth of value, let's bring them all back. Bradbury on a 1-year deal, got that. Maybe we can upgrade Noah Spence. It's kind of where I'm hoping. But we'll make sure we can get and hammer out a deal for Paradis. Other than that, we should have enough money to maybe at least bring in one big free agency acquisition to help us in our year 5 SBOB goal. At the end of year 4, 5-11. Cam Newton, not great. Worst year of the rebuild. It's still not even bad, though. Like, those are numbers that would have been like an okay season for Cam Newton last year. Or any of the last past bad years have been garbage. McCaffrey has been exceptional. Exceptional here. 1,700 yards, 12 touchdowns. All our receivers, we're going to have a down year because Cam Newton played like poo-poo. Kuechly, 109 tackles. Sacks are just ridiculously impossible to come by. But that is looking like a great combination. Amadi, Fitzpatrick, and Winfield. 3 very versatile players in our secondary. And hey, would you have imagined that Brian Burns almost had more picks than he did have sacks? Because 3-4. I honestly think what we're gonna do, I'm going all in. I'm gonna switch this back to a 4-3. We have to pull out all the stops to try and make this work. Oh, there's no cowboy bias, huh? Make these players just amazing. Garbage. NFC offensive player, they went to Ezekiel Elliott. Christian McCaffrey, number 8. Defense player, they went to Fred Warner. We had no one. Offensive rookie of the year went to Kolar, our backup tight end, coming in at 3. Defensive rookie of the year, Antoine Winfield Jr. Beautiful. I don't know if he's going to get a depth trait. He has a star. It'd be cool if we could get up a superstar. He did also have a scenario that got triggered while he had a hidden depth trait. I was kind of hoping maybe, I couldn't remember if I gave him a star or superstar. Maybe we could have got away with an X Factor. But we actually failed that. It was very annoying. So if we can get his depth trait, this way, it'd be awesome. QB Tua, Zeke. He had nobody there yet. Again, not a lot of individual success. So the only way I think we get a big dub this season is Winfield gets a depth trait boost, which I'm not overly optimistic about, but let's see. He's now to an 81. That's such a baller pick. That's almost, I think, +9 in one season, but he's stuck at a star dev. That should be automatic depth trait boost, though. Let's be honest. So we're running a 3-4, right? And we're going to go to a base 4-3. But look at this. The defensive playbook's a 4-3. A multiple 4-3, and I think their regular defense might have been 3-4 under, something like that. Come on, Madden. Sort your shit out. That's probably why we've been sucking. The Super Bowl bust? Why not? I want to bring in Bobby Wagner. I want the 2 best linebackers in the National Football League on my team. I'll make probably Bobby an outside linebacker to fit the scheme. And then Josh Jacobs. We're going to run the ball. All of our running backs get touches. At least we'll bring in a scheme fit to complement Christian McCaffrey. So there you go. Super Bowl or bust time, year 5. Let's get it. We got all our targets. We had the number 2 overall pick. Not used to having a pick that high. We dominated our draft. We went BPA everywhere. So in the second pick, we got Myles Murphy. Just another great Clemson defensive end. 6'5", 270, hidden depth trait. He's got to start. He's honestly going to be able to start. That's like, out of all the rebuilds I've ever done, this is probably one of like maybe 3 guys that we've drafted in the final draft that's actually going to play as a rookie. We got Capehart, another Clemson D tackle, as we continue to fix the scheme. 74 with a hidden depth trait. DJ, just going all triple head. Clemson, the best player in the draft, the number 1 overall prospect, slipped to the 3rd round. I thought Madden fixed this, but sure, why not for the final year? We got Gary Bryant Jr., 67 wideout from USC. Drake Metcalf center. Jordan Johnson, Enzo Jennings. Even though some of these names sound ridiculous, trust me, these are all a lot of the best new commits to college football this upcoming season. But let's welcome Myles Murphy. Go off, boy. Year 5, Super Bowl or bust. I want to say our team is stacked. We are, but ultimately we're only going to go as far as Cam Newton, who's an 86 overall, will take us. DJ Moore should get his gold cleats at some point this episode. He's a 98. Tylan Wallace, 86. Samuel is a 90. Like, the skill position players are freaky. We added Josh Jacobs to really give us just an unbelievable running attack. Offensive line, average overall, 84 probably. 83, 84, one of the best offensive lines in the football league. We got 85. Ian Thomas developed very nicely as the successor to Greg, third leg. Olson. Defensively, We got Jaren Reed and Mathis making up the middle. We got Brian Burns as a defensive end. Murphy, the number 2 overall pick, as a defensive end. As we switch from a 3-4, and now you guys at least found out, due to me being the guinea pig here, that even though they run a 3-4, the base playbook when you start your franchise mode with the Panthers is a 4-3. That's why we've seen ridiculous stats and results and stuff like that. Our secondary, pretty good. Winfield, 82. Amadi, 78, who actually played really, really well last season. Dante Jackson should get into the 90s this season. Fitzpatrick, 92. Linebacking core, Shaq Thompson, Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner. Best linebacking core in the National Football League. There you go, man. You always wonder what it's like to have like the Pro Bowl linebacking core on your team in the regular season. We'll get to find out. Even though they're a little bit older, don't get it twisted. Still two of the best to ever do it. Looking forward to see what kind of production. I'm just generally looking forward to see if we can get more than 5 sacks now that we switch the defensive scheme up. And I think that we are going to go on a Super Bowl run. It's Super Bowl or bust time, but I think this little change on the defensive side of the ball is the remedy we need for us to stop sucking. We sit 9-0 right now through 10 weeks of the regular season, and we get another member of the Gold Cleat Gang, DJ Moore, developed very, very nicely. He does seem like the kind of guy that would go with the subtle Savage Elites, but congrats. The end of year 5 in the most Panther thing, I thought we had a chance to go 60. We've already had a 16-0 with the New England Patriots, and now that they got AB, we probably have to do the Patriot rebuild again. But we were 14-0. We had 2 games to go. I think it was Packers and then the Saints, and of course the Panthers had to choke because they don't finish strong. But we played good, man. Cam Newton was fine. 3,100 yards, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks. Bringing in Josh Jacobs was exactly what the doctor ordered. Almost 8 touchdowns. Unbelievable. 1,411 for McCaffrey. I don't think we had a 1,000-yard receiver this entire rebuild, even though we have Samuel, who's, 91 overall. Tylan Wallace, who's 89 overall. DJ Moore, who's 99 overall. So, I mean, it is a little bit of the scheme. We run the ball. But, again, I still think this, at least when we're looking at Madden, they need to make elite wide receivers just perform just a little bit better. Like, in what realm should a 99 overall playmaker, regardless of scheme, average 47 yards a game? Just, I don't know. Shaq Thompson, 102 tackles. Oh, look at that. Go back to a proper scheme. We get 12 sacks for Brian Burns, 10 sacks Bobby Wagner, 8 sacks Fedarian Mathis. Picks look good across the board. Yearly awards. What do we got here? Mahomes got the MVP. Coach of the year. How did Riverboat Ron not get it? He went 14-2. Like, 100% Coach of the Year should go. And we didn't even make the play. With the number 2 overall pick. It's like Doug Peterson bias. They give it to the young guns. That's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. Offensive Player of the Year. We had no one. Defensive Player of the Year. My God, did anyone realize we played this season? The hell's going on here? My number 2 overall pick did. Oh, we're in the AFC. That makes sense. Okay. Ignore that. Cam Newton at number 10, Offensive Player of the Year. We had no one for defensive. Okay. Offensive Rookie of the Year. No one. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Myles Murphy coming in at number 4. K-Pat at 6. QB went to Herbert. Ged, keep sleeping on us. Keep sleeping on us. That's all I got to say. As we find out, it's year 5 Super Bowl bust. Going to get dirty, get my hands dirty, and it all starts 10-6, Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to stomp them. We're going to stomp them out. Our team's a 94 overall, 99 offense, 95 defense. Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the strongest teams we've built so far. That train's coming through. The train is coming through. Over the drive, Cam Newton. Let's make some magic. Let's make some magic here, boy. What do we got? How's that throw on the run doing? That throw on the run's doing great. Ian Thomas wide open. Man, scrambling quarterbacks are fun. Cam Newton has been actually like sensational in this game. Right on time for me to mess it up. But Curtis Samuel, clothesline from hell. Oh, he's so close. Oh, it's C4. Oh, I don't know. For whatever reason, this is where I disagree. Your default toss back's always your power back. It should always be your fast guy. But either way, Josh Jacobs doing what he does best. Shout out to the Raiders franchise. Brings it in as the Panthers continue to pull ahead on the Vikings. All right, we're going to be able to sim this one out. I feel like they're They're just not on the same playing field as we are. Going for the shutout. When you got Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly pulling the strings of your defense, you got a young stud like Brian Burns. Doesn't take a whole lot to beat a John Gruden-led Minnesota Vikings team. As we pitch the shutout, we look good. Cam Newton looked good. Really having trouble, to be honest with you, getting McCaffrey going. Don't know what it is, but hey, we got enough speed on the outside that if McCaffrey's not going, we can get it going with other ways. Look at that. Holding 50 yards to Bo Nix. Phenomenal. 91% completion percentage for Cam Newton. We're going to the NFC Championship. Opening drive down 7-zip to the Giants. Who I think, just guessing, that looks like Big Khalil Mack 52 at the top of your screen. Ah, come on! Get in. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's try Josh Jacobs on for size. Jingleheimer Schmidt. Terrible read on the C4 toss. That is just absolute pathetic blocking from our offensive line to fail that many times at a C4 special. So we're going to have to try and throw the ball. DJ Moore already had one brutal drop on this drive. So let's see what we can do. We can scramble out with Cam. Oh, we'll just scamper in with Cam to tie this game up at 7 apiece. Salute to the troops. Oh, there we go. Ian Thomas. I think that's Ian Thomas' second touchdown. My biggest concern is the fact that our defense has given up 2 touchdowns on 2 drives. So as long as they can start shoring that up, I feel like we should at least get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, right? Oh, finally a star player makes a play outside of Cam Newton. In traffic, DJ Moore bringing in the go-ahead score. Josh Jacobs, a little bit of read option there. They don't know what monster of this backfield's getting it. Go-ahead score. Again, need our defense to step up. We got the lead at the end of the game, and of course they fall. Oh, let's go. Let's go. What's up? And it's good. Going to the Super Bowl. All right, opening drive. It's taking a long time. We're running the ball. We got the Chargers. We got McCaffrey on a C4 special, and he just creeps in. We have conservative carry because we know the man on the other side of the ball, Derwin James, is just looking for fumbles. They got Justin Fields at quarterback. It could be a shootout, but our defense holds strong. Let's start piling up the score. All right, C4 special territory yet again. It's an ugly Super Bowl. We're not able to maximize the strength of our team because we have to just nuke everyone so Derwin James doesn't fumble. But the C4 special, McCaffrey, unstoppable, 17-10. That's a 10-point lead here. Come on, defense. Come on. Don't do anything. How about just don't do anything, defense? That'd be great. This is a huge 3rd and 3. First down, this game's over. Field goal attempt. I mean, still kind of keeps him in it. We want to put it in Christian McCaffrey's hands. I think he just got a first down, and he did. That is a Super Bowl win. Year 5, Super Bowl or bust for the Panthers. I mean, unless we fumble it somehow, which is a possibility with Derwin James left. He sneezes on a kneel, we might fumble it. Please get this off clean. Please get this off clean, and it is. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Year 5, we get the job done on what has been maybe, I think off the top of my head, the most dominant team we have built yet in a rebuild. Another successful rebuild. I think we've only had, 2 or 3 failed rebuilds so far this season, so that has been unbelievable success. Cam Newton worked out. Went into this rebuild having no idea. I know they fixed the mobile QBs, the scrambling QBs in the sim, giving them more realistic numbers, even though it's still not quite there. But we didn't know how Cam Newton was going to perform. If it was anything like the last 3 Maddens, you probably could go, yeah, 3 Maddens. Cam Newton has always underperformed. And for the most part, through 5 years, 2 of those 5 years, he played like an MVP candidate. And the other years, he was good. He was solid. He was good enough for us to win. I will state, whatever his X Factor ability is, that when you run in the pocket, as soon as you hit speed, he becomes unbelievable. I want that for every quarterback I ever use. McCaffrey was really good here today. Unbelievable rushing attack. Defense played strong. Going up against Justin Fields, the tandem of Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner got the job done. His MVP of the game, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns for Christian McCaffrey. Probably the best, I don't know. Yeah, probably the best player of the rebuild you would have to say. But we're just going to sit there and marvel as they hoist this Super Bowl up. Let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see next weekend for the rebuild, as well as you can comment what team you want to see next in the realistic rebuild, as I have yet to record the newest team there for that. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. See if we can get like 2,000 likes on the video. That would be pretty damn awesome for getting the Panthers their first Super Bowl. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. It's C4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent on taking your bitch. Here comes a